Well, I'm just warning you. I'm being arch conservative here. I'm actually looking at the glass as half empty for the Patriots, and I have them winning 13 games, going 13-3. I believe that the Cowboys will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. But I'm being objective about my Dallas Cowboys, and I'm saying they will lose to Tom Brady on the biggest stage in the sport.
Well, 12-4. That seems like a typical Patriots schedule.
The New England Patriots. And I know what everybody's saying. Why the hell they number 2, Swagoo? Because my number 1 team, who I'll tell you later, I think is better. Tom Brady, TB12. We know everything about the New England Patriots that we need to know. Gronk being gone matters to me for this reason. Red area. People going to say, well, they got N'Keal Harry and they have Josh Gordon. When the play needed to be made, I'm not talking about the entire season. We know that they're good enough. When the play needed to be made, Tom Brady, Binky, was Gronkowski. First of all, what's the issue?
Well, I got 20 years of scar tissue to answer this question. Between the Jets and the Dolphins, the New England Patriots are the number 1 team. They're the defending Super Bowl champions. And I'll say this, the New England Patriot running back room is the deepest position of any position in the NFL.
Rob, it's hard for you to understand this man has shattered the mold and will continue. He is going to play until he's 45 years of age because he vowed to. Beware Psycho Tom. Here he comes. He's going to take out Psycho Tom on this season.
What is your favorite ring? And he said the next one. That is Tom Brady. He's always finding a way to be motivated,
Rob,
right?
He's going to haunt you again this year.
No, he won't haunt me. I'm going to be right this year. I guarantee you.
Okay. For the first in 7 years, you're going to be right.
I'm going to be right.
But the real reason to bet against the Patriots has nothing to do with the Patriots and everything to do with the team they'd have to go through. The Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the AFC this year, and the best team in the NFL this year.
And there are players in the league that, you know something, they'll straighten up for him because they respect him, and that happens as soon as they get the phone call or as soon as the transaction, or as soon as they talk to their friends and realize, hey, man, this is a different story here.
But 2 seconds after he agrees to go to the Patriots, he puts out an Instagram post, the Patriot way, with the money. Just in that post alone leads me to believe I don't think he really is committed to change, or we're going to see a different Antonio Brown.
Okay, do you think he's on the roster at the end of the season?
I do.
You got a chance to say something.
I know, but I just don't.
You do or don't?
I somehow want to believe that he's going to actually make it work because he found a place.
Nick, at the end of the season, is he on the team?
No.
Nick doesn't think so.
I do not think so.
I think he is.
It will only be $9 million. They've got the cap space anyway because they don't have a single bad contract on the roster. It is no risk, and the reward is, of all the receivers in the league, maybe the one whose skill set fits the Patriots the best because he can play every position. He can play. Julio, maybe you'd say would be better. Fine. Okay, then second best. Whatever it is, the reward is the best receiver Brady has had since Randy Moss.
Watch what's going to happen.
Okay. I don't think he makes it the year.
Give it up for Rob Gronkowski! And now, time to unveil our 6th championship banner!
Jump around, jump around, jump up and get down. Jump, 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 jump.
Michael Bennett, Wakanda forever!
For some of this man coverage.
Up tempo, no huddle. Toss to Edelman behind the line of scrimmage. He can throw. He was a quarterback in high school. And he does throw it back to James White. And White with a big gain and blocking to the 20-yard line.
There's a buzz.
Quarterback in high school and at Kent State. And then Brady shoots one to Josh Gordon. Gordon breaking tackles. Touchdown, New England. Second down and 2. And the pass is caught and stopped shy of a first down in the 25. Again off play action and open for the touchdown. Dorsett.
It's going to do right here to Terrell Edmonds. Looks left. He takes one step. One step the wrong direction, and bango, Brady has him.
Little receivers to the right side. Can they convert? And they can't. Incomplete, intended for Moncrief and broken up by Patrick Chung. Brown joins him next week. Brady deep downfield, and that is Gordon in traffic making the catch.
Like you're going to chase it out there, because the minute you rotate that way, then you know that Gordon's coming back against the grain. But this is a tough catch here. This is one you know you're going to get drilled.
Ben airs it out. Can they get into the end zone? Yeah, but New England's going to come up with the ball. Devin McCourty with the pick.
Here's what makes this great. The cornerback, Jonathan Jones, forces him to the middle of the field, which makes it a short porch over there for Devin McCourty to come get it.
Largest margin of victory. So they go into a total prevent here.
That's why they weren't playing that.
Yeah, it's underneath. But still, that's one of the odder timeouts I've ever seen, I got to tell you. $33-3.
New England's going 8-0. You can book that. The Dolphins, Jets, Bills, Redskins, Jets, and Browns are not beating the team we saw last night.
This defense for New England is so good. If AB acts up, he's out. They're going to get to the AFC Championship. Super Bowl, I don't know because of Kansas City. They're going to get to the AFC Championship with this defense and Brady and Belichick. They're just going to get there. It's the best New England defense I have seen since the Teddy Bruschi days.
But the Patriots offense got better. And the Patriots defense got better. And
How?
The
How
Patriots...
can Patriots defense get better?
Adding more firepower to their offense.
Okay, all right, fine. And
Yes.
they lost their right tackle on Sunday, and they lost their center.
But the Chiefs defense didn't get better.
Okay.
They're going to be at least 14-2. I would like to say 15-1, but they're going to be 14-2 during the regular season. The game they play with Kansas City not going to matter. They're still going to beat them in Gillette, and we know that no one goes to Gillette and wins on a regular basis. So that, to me, is the reason why they end up in Super Bowl 54.
New England's got the best secondary in the league, the best coach in the league, the best quarterback in the league, the best running back depth in the league. I mean, they're just situationally. When's the last time they gave up like a bad touchdown? Like you're like, oh, that was a blown coverage. I mean, they just don't do it. They don't get penalized. Yeah, Hail Mary to Miami. There you go. They've had one in 4 years. Like, it's just sometimes you watch New England, they're playing a different game. Like, they just don't make the mistakes everybody else does. Added Antonio Brown. Josh Gordon, by the way. Good luck defending him. He looks like a tight end playing wide receiver. Edelman, running backs. It's almost not fair. It's deliciously not fair.
Now, this isn't a football-related live text, whatever it was. What I think is he is mentioning and really calling out us, the media, every talking head that says, oh, he should be suspended immediately right now and should be on the exempt list. For what? Why should he be on the exempt list? We don't have any say-so on that, and we can't sit here and try to talk about what he should or shouldn't be doing or what the Patriots should or shouldn't be doing with Antonio Brown. Let him play ball until everything's been resolved and settled.
Brady from the gun. Fires. He's got Brown. They get him involved right away. Brady on a give. Knifing in for the touchdown, Sony Michel. For the course of the season. Brady, end zone, caught by Brown, touchdown, New England. He's playing right guard at camp. He's now the starter at left tackle. Fitzpatrick sprint out, intercepted, and goodbye. Stephon Gilmore, touchdown on a pick six. 3-0. Fitzpatrick, plenty of time. Bobbled and picked off. Another mistake, and Jamie Collins makes them pay. Touchdown, Patriots. Rosen, rush coming, ball is intercepted. And it's over. Collins has got it for New England.
If Josh Gordon and Antonio Brown can stay with the Patriots and part of this offense, they're going to be really, really difficult to beat by anybody, because now you put Edelman inside, you've got the backs coming out of the backfield.
Now you're sounding like me, Coach.
It's
I told Nick they can wrap up the AFC. They can forget that. They're going to be 14-2 at worst, Coach.
They have not had firepower like that with Josh Gordon and Antonio Brown on the outside. I can't think of a time where they've had talent like that available on the perimeter. And then all the things that they can do inside with the backs and Edelman, where do you want to push the coverage? Who do you want to take away? And it's really going to be a function of, can this last? Can Josh stay a part of the program and stay consistent and overcome his challenges? And where does Antonio, where does this saga play out? But
And it feels like to me he's about to hijack their offense because they're going to let him hijack it. And you know, because you were the first to dig in on this, this is the one guy you can't let take over your football team. Because if you do, he will become very quickly more trouble than he's worth. And I believe he will ultimately be more trouble than he's worth just on the I'm not talking about the lawsuit, but more trouble than he's worth to the Patriots. Because I'm going to say it one more time. They got mossed in 07 because they broke all those records until they got to the Super Bowl, and then they threw it 48 times and ran it only 16 times, and they lost 17-14. And Randy Moss helped them win exactly no Lombardis. And now they looked like incredibly, like unstoppably balanced to me a week ago Sunday night against Pittsburgh. They dismantled the Pittsburgh Steelers and left them for dead. And God bless Ben Roethlisberger. It sounds like they're really going to have problems now. But the point is that I liked that team, and I picked that team to win the Super Bowl. I don't love this team as much as I liked that team before.
Now, I don't think that this is going to be their keys to success moving forward from week to week, because as we know with the New England Patriots, it's about one thing and one thing only: winning ball games.
Okay.
However that comes offensively, whether it's on the shoulders of Sony Michel running the ball, or James White coming out of the backfield, Julian Edelman, Tom Brady throwing the ball around, spreading the ball around, that's to be decided by what the defense can or cannot stop.
Great. So help me out. What happens if 2 straight games pass and he gets 3 targets and 1 catch?
Well, then we have to see that.
We gonna absolutely.
We'll find out. We'll hear something.
Breaking news out of the National Football League. Wide receiver Antonio Brown has been cut by the New England Patriots.
His tenure with the team lasted less than 2 weeks. Sage, the team releasing the wide receiver this afternoon.
Breaking news from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The New England Patriots are releasing Antonio Brown.
Patriots just cut Antonio Brown.
Oh.
Antonio Brown is done with the Patriots.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's the right thing to do. I think that for the Patriots organization, for Robert Kraft, for the NFL, this is the right thing to do. They are the premier franchise in all of sports right now.
I think the Patriots are better with AB than without him. I think the league at the moment is better off without him than with him.
They are not better off without Antonio Brown. If you watch that Miami game, Tom Brady clearly understood who the best wide receiver on this team was. And you can go back to the game yesterday. It was drops by Edelman, Josh Gordon with drops. The one guy, even though he's 5'10", that if he has a one-on-one matchup that's going to win is Antonio Brown. And you added Antonio Brown, you thought it was over. You was like, there was no way you were going to be able to stop this team. And now they've come back down to the mean a little bit, but they are still the best overall team in the
Michel looking for a block, and he got one from Shaq Mason. Touchdown. 5 yards on their first possession. The Patriots go downfield 90 yards. The nickel, 2nd down and 7. Here they come, and down he goes. Jamie Collins, what a start to the season he's had.
Success together, it's been a great relationship.
Fake to Sony Michel. Oh, and he's got him. Dorsett, touchdown. And again, the block at the right tackle. Oh, Brady looking to the side. Caught by Gordon. Right in front of Roberts. What a catch.
at the 4, first and goal, 28-yard pickup on 3rd and 22.
I don't know how they fit this one in there. You watch Gordon, he's just going to run the go route. And Roberts is in position. I mean, he could again, Kevin, he doesn't get his head around and find the football. Great concentration on the boundary by Josh Gordon.
Remember interviewing you when you played for the Raiders. You were big into nutrition. Here's the punt, which Berrios will let bounce him back to him. And Slater kept it alive. You know, you don't see that much, but that's why he's a 7-time Pro Bowler. Now, that was just terrific. What hustle by Matthew Slater. A 7-time Pro Bowler, a 39-yard punt down at the 1 because of this great hustle.
What great effort. And that's why he's been in the league for 12 years, because it plays like this.
So the Patriots set an NFL record with the most regular season wins in a decade with their win today.
Patriots want to bring pressure. Here they come.
Allen steps up, throws, deep ball. It is intercepted, picked up by Devin McCourty. 4 straight games with a pick.
Then high pointing the ball. No chance. Good coverage as well. All right, Duran. Check that. That's Jonathan Jones, number 31.
3rd and 5. Brady, plenty of time. Timing route down the sideline, and James White over the shoulder grab.
He bounces in the pocket and finds the mismatch he likes. Milano never locating the ball perfectly over the shoulder of Milano and into the hands of White, and the ball goes inside the 5-yard line after that 26-yard gain.
Wide in the backfield, motion man Bolden. And it's Bolden with the angle. Touchdown, New England. Olszewski is the deep man. He's been dealing with a hamstring issue, and it's blocked. Bajorquez could not get it off cleanly, and the Patriots got it. J.C. Jackson on the recovery. Touchdown, New England. The block from Jackson. And the recovery downfield for the Pats. Wow. A stampede, and look who it is. The Pro Bowler Slater. Play action. Allen. The long ball. Intercepted. J.C. Jackson for New England. 6 defensive backs. Allen. Breaks away initially, then twirled down. Another Patriot sack. Chase Winovich. They handled the rush initially. Allen floats it downfield. Dangerous pass is picked off. Jackson with the INT. From the gun. Barkley hit as he throws. It's up in the air, and it's intercepted. Jamie Collins has got it for the Patriots. And the New England defense comes up big.
And big by Kyle Van Noy. Coming off the edge, totally unblocked. He gets to Barkley as he's throwing the ball. Tremendous play by Van Noy. Left side of the screen, watch him fire in. Yeldon blocking inside, doesn't see the linebacker come. Confusion reigns, and Collins with his 3rd pick of the season.
And Van Noy turned that one into a sitter for Jamie Collins. It floats right into his hands. And what we've learned is that Buffalo's defense is the real deal. But the New England Patriots remain undefeated.
Brady struggles big time in Buffalo, but still gets the win. Marcus, are you taking it or leaving it that we should be concerned about Brady?
I'm leaving it. Tom Brady is playing in the first year without Rob Gronkowski, playing without James Devlin at fullback. The Bills have a good defense, by the way.
Yes, they
do. And people forget that this is the NFL because of the success of the New England Patriots. This is a long season, a lot of weeks. I'm not concerned about Tom Brady.
I'm taking it. I am concerned about Tom Brady. The fact of the matter is he was not his usual self last season, and he's 150,000 years old. Then he doesn't practice during the week. He says, hey, I'm not a spring spring chicken anymore. Goes out, gets beaten up by the Bills defense. They were kind of lucky to win the game. And if you notice what's happening to now, he came in, game manager, great defense with Belichick, turns into Tom Brady can carry the offense. You don't have to worry as much about the defense. We're back to the defense has to carry Tom Brady. That's what we're at. And he's a game manager.
The biggest difference between Brady last year and the 3 previous seasons statistically is how he does under pressure. Under pressure, the 3 years prior, so we're talking about his age 38, 39, and 40-year-old season. So not young Tom Brady, not vintage prime Tom Brady. He was 31-7 touchdown interception and 94 passer rating when pressured. As good as any quarterback in football when pressured. The last 2 years, that's a 68 passer rating when pressured. It's 11 touchdowns to 5 picks. It is because he is not standing in the pocket. He is not going to take that punishment. And by the way, he should not stand in the pocket. He should not take that punishment because the only way this Patriots season goes terribly awry is if Tom Brady gets hurt. Their number one goal, more so even than getting the number 1 overall seed, is have Tom Brady make it to January healthy. So I understand the approach, and it is the smart approach.
Unless they have a juggernaut, it comes down to the wire. And field goals have saved them on many, many occasions. To lose this guy for the season, I think, is a tremendous loss. And when I look at Kansas City, how potent they are and how they're going to be even more so once Tyreek Hill comes back, now that he's back in practice, I'm sorry. I don't see a New England Patriots team with a questionable field goal game beating a Kansas City Chiefs team.
Up to line of scrimmage, try and get a quick snap to get too many men on the field. On 2nd and goal, touchdown over the middle to Julian Edelman. Deeper drop this time. Brady throwing over the middle and wide open over midfield. Josh Gordon, and Gordon is ridden out of bounds. Play fake. McCoy rolling under pressure, goes down. Hightower. McCoy, short pop over the middle, lost the football. Picked up by New England. You can see Jonathan Jones looks like he's the one that comes in and punches it out. Excellent technique by Jones, uses that right hand to punch on the ball. Under a minute to play, intercepted, picked off by Jason McCourty. Brady to throw. Under pressure, throws it, has a man open, he's got him to the end zone, touchdown, Brandon Bolden. Brady to throw. Diving catch is made by Julian Edelman. Norman had that left hand in the shoulder pads of Edelman, and that elevates Mr. Brady to number 3 passing yards all time. Sony Michel, running room, left side, up the sideline and out of bounds as he crosses midfield on the day. Brady gives it to Michel. Michel, the 10, the 5, looking for the end zone, and he gets there. This team's really good on defense, so Brady lofts one into the end zone all alone. Is Ryan Izzo for the touchdown. I kind of laughed. I said, yeah, that's kind of what. Oh, Jamie Collins in on Colt McCoy. Well, the Patriots responded the way you thought they would. They came out and they played solid defense, holding the Skins to just over 200 yards, and Tom Brady bounced back. 33-7, New England a winner.
If you're not concerned about the Patriots offense, A, I believe you're not really paying attention, and B, you definitely have them winning the Super Bowl in a rout. I mean, this defense has allowed 2 touchdowns. We're through 5 games. Now, I know they haven't played great offenses on the other side, but they've allowed 2 touchdowns. The defense has been spectacular, but the offense, the offense has played one defense with a pulse, the Buffalo Bills. In that game, that offense scored 9 points. Tom Brady had his worst quarterback rating in 13 years.
That is Michel as they get him worked into the pass game more and more. Nice move and a good pickup. And officially, Tom Brady is now in second place. The most passing yards all time as everybody looks up at Drew Brees. 2nd down and 7. Pass is high in the air and picked. Simon is back there to grab it out of the air and an early takeaway. There to help get that ball up into the air, and now they fake it to Michel, throw it over the middle, and they return the favor. Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins on the pick, and he can return it. Gets blockers in front, and Jenkins out of bounds inside the 35.
Talent in some unique ways that have allowed them to be the #1 defense in football.
This one's blocked. Out of the air, into the end zone for the touchdown. It's the rookie, Winovich. There's Stupar, who gets hit in the back and off the helmet with Bolden right in his face.
Bolden pushes Stupar. Stupar doesn't go attack it. The ball hits him in the back, and hello, Winovich, who has been a bit of a playmaker here in his first year with the Patriots.
Good protection, and this one is hit in the air and picked off. Intercepted by Duron Harmon. Looked like that ball was tipped. And Harmon out of bounds near the 20.
The line, it's a quick snap. Let's see if the ball got deflected. The arm gets hit.
That's Lacoste back in there for New England. Handoff to Bolden for the touchdown.
Player on a defense that's dominated.
Down the sideline for Tate. He's got it. Golden Tate is going to go for the touchdown. 2nd down and 12. Brady with pressure. Out comes the football. Recovered by Golden. And Marcus Golden is going to reach for the touchdown. No flags. And at the 49. Brady keeps over the middle. Pass is caught by Jacoby Myers. Here's that catch by Myers.
Yeah, watch after he makes the catch. Right there, after he secures it, and then he raises it to make sure that he keeps it away.
Brady takes, plows ahead. He's got it for the touchdown. Pass is picked by Gilmore.
Here at the slot.
Jones for Hilliman. On 3rd down, ball comes out. Picked up by the Patriots, and Van Noy dives. Overturned the call on the field and rewarded Van Noy with the touchdown. 71 plays to the Giants 42. Here's one for Edelman. Leaping grab and down inside the 5. Edelman, what a night.
And what a night, and they were doubling him. They were doubling him, and they just sat not expecting him to just puncture the defense and go deep. He runs right past everybody.
Here he is, plowing ahead. He's determined. The flag thrown on that.
Yeah, and the umpire was looking right at it.
Here's one down the sideline, broken up. Great coverage by Gilmore on Slayton.
They're still, as I've said many times, they're the best bet in football and probably the best bet in sports.
This notion that Tom Brady's playing great, I haven't seen it. Outside of the first game of the season against the Steelers, I don't see what everybody else is seeing. And that's one of the reasons, Skip, I do not watch television with sound. Because a lot of times, if you watch with sound, oh my God, he's playing unbelievable. Oh, this guy did that. Oh, that guy did that. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So with that being said, I gave him an F because that 43 QBR, that scooping score that he gave up, that horrible pick, and Skip, he's starting to flinch. Fourth quarter, on 4th and 5, the one he threw to Edelman, that defensive end brushed by him. He wasn't close. He's ducking. He's hearing the gunfire. You watching it. Look at his monitor. You see it? Yeah. He's flinching. He flinched.
Interesting.
So Tom Brady last night in 25 to 30 mile an hour winds, using the same 3 players in the second half to throw to, they ran out of players. Goes 31 of 41, over 7 yards of play, 39 minutes time of possession, runs for 2 touchdowns, did not have Philip Dorsett, and his most talented receiver, Josh Gordon, got hurt in the middle of the game. And this morning it's, Are you kidding me?
I got to ask you about your prediction that the Patriots would not make the AFC Championship game. How you feeling about that
I'm
now?
sticking to it.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Yikes.
Because they haven't beaten anybody. This is the worst Shannon 6-0 team I've ever seen.
This is a great, great defense. The defense has, and special teams have scored 5 touchdowns. The defense has allowed 3 touchdowns. That's how good this defense is. Is this a great team? They didn't look to me like a great team last night. They didn't look like a great offense last night. They looked like a team that not only was taking advantage of the schedule, but in this schedule, this team being depleted due to injuries. I don't think you could watch last night's game and more injuries rack up for the Patriots see on the offensive side and feel great about where their offense is, even though you in the game, you see they have 35 points. This is a special defense, the greatest coach of all time, and a quarterback who gets more of a benefit of doubt than any quarterback ever because he's earned it. But I don't think this is a great football team because one major facet of their game, the offense, I don't think is that good right now.
Yeah. With the exception of the Buffalo Bills game, he has completed a minimum of 66% of his passes in every single game. In 4 of the 6 games, he's thrown for over 300 yards. We acknowledge that Edelman isn't 100%. Rob Gronkowski has retired. Josh Gordon's been in and out. We don't know how reliable he is, and he got injured last night. Antonio Brown got exiled, okay? This dude is throwing the guy. Other than Edelman, we don't know who the hell he's throwing to. James White, 1 minute, some dude named Alzuki, or whatever the hell his name is, the other, Myers, and we don't know what the hell he's working with. Yet he goes out on the football field. He throws for over 300 yards in most instances. He's got 10 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions on the season, okay? They're 6-0. 6-0. No, without question, their defense has a lot to do with it because I just think they're the #1 defense in football.
Yeah. Is it good enough for what? To keep winning? And they showed they can win. They score a special teams touchdown. They score a defensive touchdown. Listen, was the offense at its very best? No. Their line's been a little suspect. Their center's out, right? Yep. Josh Gordon goes down. So he's not working with all of his – they're not firing on all cylinders, but this is why they're so polarizing. This is why you hate them or love them, because they know how to win. They know how to win ugly. And if he's got to rush for 2 touchdowns, I'll tell you what, he doesn't care. He's going to win the game. That's who he is.
Pressure straight up the middle, but able to connect on shallow underneath that time to Ben Watson to move the chains. 10 yards there to Watson. 2. Here's the pitch to Michel. Blockers in front and easily in as Ben Watson paved the way for Sony Michel. They'll split up. Here's some pressure on Darnold. Quickly gets it out, and it is picked off by Devin McCourty. Here they go again. You can't hype this defense enough. 15th interception on the season. McCourty's 5th. Buzzing about that today. Here's Brady. Gets out of the pocket. Downfield. Back shoulder. And able to get it to Brandon Bolden. 4th down and 6. Brady with time and able to get it complete to Ben Watson. And it's a first down, New England. Coming to the end of this first quarter. 2nd and 8. Brady's going to take a shot. And Philip Dorsett with the touchdown catch.
To get on top of him, and Brady drops it in.
Pressure off the edge. Ball is out, and the Patriots have it. And or longer. Picked off again. Deron Harmon Running down, they let him get it off. Pressure off the edge. Floater, and another interception, and it's Gilmore. And here's the return. As McCourty had the pressure coming in on Darnold, he floated it, and Gilmore feasted on it. Oh boy, and it just got worse as smartly Darnold just bats it out, but penalty will come in. 3rd and 10. Can he get a first down inside the 2? Floated again and picked off again. This time it's Terrence Brooks. Here's James White. Just all too easy and just tripped up. Roberts comes in again to play fullback in front of Sony Michel. And with it, Michel goes in again. His 3rd touchdown of the night, and it's a linebacker playing offense to pave the way. Play clock winding down.
Delay of game, offense. This penalty's declined. It's 4th down.
One top-heavy teams there in the NFC, aren't there? Packers and Saints.
False start. Offense. This penalty is also declined. It's still 4th down.
We're going to play this game?
Right, so the Patriots took an intentional...
Look at Belichick. He can't even hold it back. So he's number 3 all-time against a single opponent with the work he has put in through the years against the Jets. That is muffed, and it is jumped on, as of course it would be Matthew Slater, the 7-time Pro Bowler as a special teamer. It is the largest shutout win by the Patriots over the Jets.
But to me, this is more about the Patriots. We are almost halfway through the season. Through 7 weeks, no team in the Super Bowl era has ever had a greater point differential. This is the best point differential since a 1920 team from Buffalo, whose last name I'm forgetting right now, whose team name I'm forgetting. In 100 years, this is the best point differential we've had. This is, through 7 weeks, the best pass defense in the history of football. I understand the competition. I understand they haven't played a single good quarterback aside from Big Ben in week 1. They have allowed 1 passing touchdown and 18 interceptions. They are allowing a passer rating of 35. Wow. Jenna, you know I love to mention this. If you spike the ball, your passer rating is 39. They're allowing one of 35. What you're seeing on the left is what the Patriots are doing. What you're seeing on the right is what the second-place team in every category is doing. They are markedly better through 7 weeks than every other defense in football, and that, to me, is the biggest story from last night. But you saw last night, and I understand that the announcers and some people were a little critical of Belichick for keeping Brady in the game and continuing to throw passes. I don't think that was just Belichick trying to stick it to the Jets, Belichick trying, because he always tries to stick it to the Jets, it would appear. I think it's because they are still working on things. I think they are using this time to work on their passing game as much as possible because their offense was not very effective again last night. Brady had a quarterback rating of 80. They rushed the ball for 74 yards. It doesn't matter, though, because in NFL history, you can look this one up, teams are undefeated when they hold the opposition to 0 points, and the Patriots did that once again.
Yes, just like we said, Jenna, it's either 15-1 or 14-2. That's if they decide to give away the last game of the season. But you can guarantee that the Patriots, just like we said, they are going to cruise through the regular season. And I do believe that they will be tested. I do believe that test comes in Baltimore.
You allow a network to not only, and I'll get to it in a few minutes, but not only to mic him, but then in real time show this during a game. What are you doing against the best secondary of my life? I've said this before. I'm not going to call New England's defense the best ever, although statistically it is. Secondary? If you don't have receivers that can beat the Patriots in one-on-one coverage like a Julio Jones guy, then you have no chance to beat them.
They know where they're deficient and where they still need work.
Let's just be as direct as we can be here. The New England Patriots have a real chance to make a run at unbeaten. This is an extraordinary acquisition. If they are not beset by a variety of injury, they're going to be favored in every game they play the rest of the season. I don't care who we're talking about. Sanu is exactly what this team didn't have, and you and I were talking earlier before the show, they're just always a step ahead.
Look, Mohamed Sanu, first of all, is the epitome of the Patriot way. A very under-the-radar, really good player, reliable. Bill Parcells used to tell me all the time, which is this same Belichick coaching tree. I would rather take a guy to the game where I know what I'm getting. He may not be a superstar. He may not be a Pro Bowler or All-Pro. But if I put you at the 3 technique, I need to know you're going to stay in the B gap and hold the B gap down. So Sanu is going to do that for the New England Patriots.
This team right now is going to become unstoppable. And it's because of this addition with Sanu, and this is why. One, they can play big with Sanu, N'Keal Harry's coming back, and Josh Gordon, and they can play small with the running backs. And then Sanu's one of the better on the perimeter blocking receivers in the NFL. What do the Patriots love to run? Screens. Now you can have a big guy out there dominating DBs.
Every move is structured to make it to the Super Bowl. Mohamed Sanu is the piece they needed to get to the Super Bowl.
Remember this morning, there should have been 8 AFC teams that watched that game last night, 33-0 Patriots, and said, oh, hell, we got to add something. And we wake up this morning, and it's the Patriots who are very good at collecting draft picks and then using them at the perfect time. It's the Patriots off a 33-0 win that adds something. Oh, yeah, they've got the best coach. Oh, yeah, they've got the best clutch quarterback. Oh, yeah, they'll play all their playoff games outside of the Super Bowl at home. And, oh, yeah, they have the deepest running back set in the National Football League, and all of them seemingly great wide receivers, too. Folks, I'm going to say something, and nobody has heard me say this ever. It's over. The AFC is over.
Do you think if Tom Brady left New England, it would be to retire, or do you think there is any real chance he plays for another team?
Oh, I definitely think there's a chance. We've always heard, I think everyone at the table have heard, is it Belichick or is it Brady? Mm-hmm. And I think, a lot of times with everyone, there's some sort of ego attached to that.
So as far as the whole Brady or Belichick thing, forgive me for saying that's the most ridiculous question in the entire world. This is the most successful run in the history of a sport that's been around for 100 years. You don't do that with one person. You do it because they're both the best at what they do. It was the perfect marriage of the best coach and the best quarterback who happened to be on the same team at the same time for 2 decades.
I'll just say, look, there are 3 options, right? He's either staying in New England, he's retiring, or he's going to go play somewhere else. I would think of those 3. That staying in New England, to me, would seem like the least likely option of the 3.
I don't know if something like that would happen because I have to believe he'd probably retire first, and I don't believe that Mr. Kraft would lose him in New England. But if he were to end up going somewhere else, the team that comes to my mind is the Tennessee Titans.
1, the Chicago Bears. That's a team with tradition, only won Super Bowl. They've always been missing a quarterback. They have an offensive-minded head coach and a vicious defense. And the other, which someone suggested to me, and I was like, whoa, the Oakland soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders with John Gruden.
Why are you going there? You're going there because you want to still play and you want to win. Mm-hmm. Guess what? You can stay in New England and do that because it's not like you're getting kicked out the door. The issue for Tom Brady is appreciation. And if it's appreciation, outside of New England, who's going to do it more than Vrabel?
Right there, all these guys up at the line of scrimmage, and they bail out, and Tom's got to throw it early.
He's going long, and it's over the shoulder, caught. Dorsett able to catch it with Greedy Williams back in action, but unable to defend on this one. The pass just dropped in there perfectly.
Just a perfect throw. We talked about weather, right? We're going to come back to it. Look at how perfect that ball is. And he's fine with it.
Beckham at the top, Gilmore on him. Here's Chubb's first handle. Chubb, the football comes out. The football is scooped up by Hightower, and he takes it home for the touchdown. Chubb's first handle coughs it up, and the New England defense has scored yet another touchdown.
Oh, correct. They do it perfectly.
Here's the toss to Chubb. He cuts back, has some room. Nice piece of running this time. And he's going into the secondary and down to the 10. Fumbles again. Fumbles, and it's recovered by New England. Chubb with 2 handles and 2 fumbles, and the second one after he broke it. Snap out of the gun. Oh, he tosses it right into the arms of Lawrence Guy. You gotta be kidding me. It over now. 3 consecutive plays. 2 fumbles, and count this as a pick. Jarvis Landry, I guess, was the target, but Guy read it better than anyone.
Really just isn't real life. This is just a terrible start.
2nd and 7. Complete and a touchdown. Edelman slashing across the field through the defense. 8 yards out. Pass down the middle, wide open. Edelman.
Zone pressure right here. Get the ball out.
Gets the ball out. Oh, where will they mark this? Going to be right on the first down yardage, it appears. Sanu with the catch. He was hit by Whitehead right away. Mayfield swarmed by the Patriot defense, including Adam Butler.
Intelligent about how they double team Beckham and how they try and take him away.
3rd and 4, and Mayfield runs right into Collins, and a flag is down. Boy, as Jamie Collins in his return to New England, as he made plays all season long. Cleveland's only allowed 1 out of 26 first downs on a 3rd and 10 or longer. And that's not a jinx. As White goes, White cuts it back to the middle. And all the way down to the 24. And a slot to the left. First down. Brady slides right and throws. Hits. Touchdown! Julian Edelman!
3-man rush. 4 guys are pretending to rush. As soon as Tom recognized there was 3, he just waited. And then he finds a soft spot in the pocket, slides, move, and then watch the one-on-one guy, Garrett. Really a great job by Cannon. I mean, great effort. That is a tough guy to block one-on-one.
He stayed with him too, didn't he, Marcus Cannon? Here's a 3rd and 13. Mayfield's pass almost intercepted.
Imprint on a lot of these modern coaches is anybody.
2nd and 7. Plants the feed and able to fire it to Sanu. With 2 Browns trying to defend him. He's able to take it all the way to the 50. And listen to what they're going to do every time Sanu catches it down the road. They already got the chant figured out in one game.
They're not booing Brady?
Yeah, maybe.
Guess not. Sanu with a great over route. Murray's trying to guard him. Brady throws that ball perfectly.
2nd and 9. Down the field he goes. Turn around, make the catch. Ben Watson.
Go deep back on this one. Rush 4 guys.
Mayfield. He's going to go down. Winovich and Butler. He's had such a big part to do with that defense in the Super Bowl, and Belichick never gives that really up, as Mayfield had no chance with Van Noy on him. 3rd most in history behind Shula and Hallis.
Legends of the game, and he's right there on any Mount Rushmore for anything to do with NFL and coaching, or any kind of, really anything to do with the NFL in general.
Marcellus, I'll start with you. Are Lamar Jackson's Ravens a bad matchup for the undefeated Patriots?
No, not at all. They're going to fall right into Belichick's hands, right into his game plan.
Is it a bad matchup? Yeah, hell yeah, it's a bad matchup. It's a terrible matchup because it's 1 of 1. They're the only team in the league that runs this style of offense.
It is a bad matchup, but I still don't see them winning. You know, when we had to prepare for quarterbacks like that, we would actually have 12 guys on offense, and you'd put a guy that would actually, if he was going to run, this guy would actually run the actual run, and if he was going to pass, then the quarterback would actually pass it. So you didn't have a guy in there on one play where you knew, all right, it's going to be a run or it's going to be a pass. So the preparation for a guy that can actually run the ball like a running back and still pass the ball effectively as he can, dude, it's a bad matchup.
Ravens at home with this running game and what I just saw Cleveland. If Nick Chubb holds on to the football, that's a hell of a game this past weekend.
If it was a fifth, we all be drunk too. But
and that's the problem.
You got to understand. He is. What is he? He's 21-0 against first and second year quarterbacks.
Yep.
Like, what are we talking about? If you keep betting against them, at some point in time, you're going to be right because everything fails at one point.
Right.
But you're going to lose a lot of money to your bookie betting against them before you get that one that's right.
And I just think it's coming. If they weren't coming off a bye, I would be less sure about my conviction here. But I really do believe they're going to get the Patriots this weekend.
Here in the year, Edwards is the back. Give it to Edwards, and he'll get stuffed at the 5-yard line. That's Lawrence Guy, who had an interception last week.
That stuff forced the field goal.
24-yard attempt, and the Ravens are pointing as the kick won't count because it was whistled dead. 2.5, but take a look again.
You'll see when the center raises his head, they jump.
Neutral zone infraction. Half the distance to the goal. That yardage results in a first down.
He keeps it. To the end zone, touchdown. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, and the ball off to Ingram. Mark Ingram, big run into Patriot territory. Can they chase him down? Not until he gets to the 12-yard line. Whoa.
The Ravens are tonight.
Blowing most football fans away to this point. Edwards to the end zone. Touchdown.
Marcus Peters, you better be careful with him. He doesn't always do the predictable.
Haley's kick is a good one, and a fair catch is called for, and fumbled by Jones.
Julian Edelman. Those are the two you have to defend in the red zone. Now maybe Sanu.
Edelman is the man in motion. Brady looking that way. Brady to the outside. That'll be caught for a touchdown by Mohamed Sanu. Pistol formation on the second down and 5. Ingram here, and Ingram fights his way. Ball is out there, still alive, and the Patriots have recovered it. Brady fires, knocked down at the goal line. Earl Thomas. 4-man rush. Brady fires, caught, reaching up for Edelman. Brady, the shoulder shake down the sideline, and that is going to be caught by White. Thomas is there. What a catch. Tom says, give me a timeout. And we need a timeout to take a look at that play again. What a catch.
Well, back-to-back double moves. That one by James White, the one prior by Edelman. And, for Earl Thomas, he's not used to playing out on the edge. Sometimes those safeties have a tough time with that.
White, can he get to the end zone? He cannot. He is stopped at the 1-yard line. Flea flicker. Brady settles to the outside to Sanu. Edelman again. And the ball is out. And there's no whistle yet. And this is Marlon Humphrey, who's going to take it to the end zone. It'll be 70 yards if it stands. Second and goal. White to the end zone. Touchdown. At least try to draw him offside, but they're going to snap it. Run the play. Jackson throws, and it will be hauled in for a first down by Willie Snead.
A pick. You'll see the crisscross action. And there you go. He just simply could not get out. Jason McCourty could not get out.
Surveys down to the last couple of seconds. And then fires deep downfield, and that is incomplete, intended for Ben Watson. Peters was back there with him. And it's 3rd down and 10 for the Patriots.
Oh, that's a killer drop right there. That is one that Gronk makes 100 out of 100, right?
kind of came into that mix. But tonight it's Lamar Jackson all the way. Ravens lead from start to finish and knock off the no longer undefeated Patriots by a score of 37-20.
Biggest concern, the Patriots defense or Tom Brady?
Tom Brady's a bigger concern. Look, given what Belichick was doing, it was incumbent upon Brady to put some points on the board, and he couldn't do it. I've said he's dinking and dunking more than ever last year, right? But this year it's even more apparent. Tom Brady can't win you a game like this. It's Brady that I'd be concerned about.
I'm not. Skip, I think the Patriots got a wake-up call last night. We had been talking about it all year. And I never bought into this notion that they were historically a great defense. They don't have big play capabilities, and now they're not running the football the way we saw them, Skip, run it the last half of last year and into the playoffs. They're not that team, Skip. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if y'all think Tom Brady is that same Tom Brady from 3 or 4 years ago, you're sadly mistaken.
I saw just another possession receiver with no real ability, no burst to separate, right? No burst.
He's a smaller Josh Gordon.
He looked like a smaller Josh Gordon. He looked like a less quick Julian Edelman, right? Yeah. And again, Tom had pretty good rapport with him, and he threw him a bunch of balls. He caught a bunch of balls, but he never really threatened or hurt the Baltimore defense. Am I right?
Yeah.
So it's still pretty much Edelman or bust.
Primarily, the Patriots committed the mistakes that teams typically commit against the Patriots. It started in the very beginning where you hold Baltimore to a field goal after a very long drive, and it's New England who's jumping off sides on 4th and short to give Baltimore a new set of downs. When you're climbing back into the game, it's New England who fumbles the football and has it returned for a touchdown in what was a critical moment. It's when you're trying to get back in the game, it's New England who can't get off the field. Back-to-back 14-play drives that took up nearly 18 minutes of game clock for the Baltimore Ravens. But the other thing that was very uncharacteristic for the Patriots over these last 20 years, Tom Brady looked across the field and had to say, oh, that guy's better than me. The other team had the better quarterback.
Marcellus, I'll start with you. Am I crazy for being more impressed with the Patriots last night than the Ravens?
I don't think you're crazy. I had the same thoughts after that game, knowing Belichick and his mystique. And
sets him out wide to the left. Here's Wentz unloading it deep. And there's a flag down at the 25.
Pass interference. Defense number 30. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
England, that's an Achilles heel or something they can stop the next week.
Rushing 4 on 3rd and 8. Wentz's pass. And there is no flag. And Elliott, it moves, but it's through.
And then all of a sudden, when Jackson gets back, I think it's going to be very different, though.
So Alshon Jeffrey watching. And here is a little tight end screen. And it's going for big yardage to Goddard. 5 on 3rd down. From the 5 to the 5, can they find the end zone? Yes, they do. Touchdown. Oh, hold on. Taken away by Jones. My goodness.
So does Goddard. So you have, at best, you may have a portion of what would almost feel simultaneous, which would go to the offense as well.
After reviewing the play, the receiver had possession of the ball and survived the ground.
Touchdown it is for Philadelphia. Goddard.
That play's a touchdown if Darby's not in the football game.
Here's a 2nd and 10. And that is good for a first. First catch it is for the rookie, Harry. Oh. And he hits it from 35 out. 2nd and goal. This time, knocked out of the hands of Edelman.
Tuesdays, when the sun is down. He had to go under 240 there. That was smart.
Wentz still has it. He lost the football for a moment. And it's New England football.
The push here.
Well, Shelton hits him, and then Lawrence Guy recovers.
So Guy pushed the pocket. Shelton gets the hit, and then Guy comes back in and gets the recovery. It's moving these balls, but also the defensive backs.
39 yards. another shuffle pass, second one of the game. And able to break away. He's going to get stopped for no gain, and he's way into the secondary for a pickup of 30.
Unique on something like this.
Over to Edelman. He's loading up to throw it. He's going to the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Edelman with the touchdown pass to Philip Dorsett. And going low to get it. James White.
Until they need you to be great.
3rd and 15. He's in trouble. And he is knocked down, sandwiched in between a couple of Patriots, including Hightower and Van Noy.
To the middle.
Knocked off. Picked off. Jackson on the rebound. There is a flag, though, in the area where that ball.
With your helmet at all, really anything.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 25, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I mean, this is cold wind, 63 yards. I mean, there's no way he's gonna, if you can get this ball even close.
Not going to get there at the 5, and it's knocked down. Game over. New England takes it 17-10.
They don't have any speed. There's no threats. Their two best receivers are both slot receivers. In other words, they need to be off the ball to be effective, and that's Edelman and Sanu. So where's the other guys? Where's the speed? That left tackle, is that me blocking? They got to get Isaiah Wynn back in a hurry, and if they don't, they're in trouble. And he knows it. Why did they bring Antonio Brown with a laundry list of things? Why? Because they needed a weapon. Why did they draft a guy in the first round? This team is short of talent, and he knows it. Normally, he's a guy that carries the team. But right now, they're being carried by that defense.
That whole game was difficult to watch yesterday because of the lack of speed on the outside. Like, the Patriots' offense, the best way to describe it is unexplosive. Like, there's no chance for them to throw the football downfield. And they've been notoriously, like, a dink and dunk offense. Yes. But they've always had the opportunity to at least, like, push the ball downfield with a receiver or Gronk down the seam. Watching that game yesterday, what hit me, every ball that Brady throws is tight. Like, every ball, it's a difficult throw. Like, these are tight window throws that he's got to be exact on. There's no separation between his receivers and the defenders. Like, these are perfect throws to get 10, 15-yard completions. Yeah. And that's not the case that we've seen from the Patriots for a long time. Right now, this is the worst Patriots offense since 2003.
Oh, my God. They can't protect the quarterback. They can't run the football.
They'll figure it out.
But what they can do is play great defense. Yes. Belichick is a genius. Josh McDaniels, too. I mean, it's amazing that this team is average offensively right now.
Can I just point out that we're talking about a football team that's 9-1?
Yes.
Does it need to be said out loud in this conversation?
Tom Brady looked completely ticked off in that press conference, and I don't blame him. To be 42 years old, to be a 6-time champion, a guy that guided this team to 9 Super Bowls with the great Bill Belichick giving you this defense. Why do you think that as much of a headache as Antonio Brown was, Tom Brady welcomed him with open arms, even offered to give him a spot at his pad? Because at 42, he's looking at the talent that he's got to work with. He's like, you got to be kidding me. Mm-hmm. You got to be kidding me. I mean, your best receiver is your slot guy in Edelman. You've got no you've got no outside threats whatsoever. You know, the level of talent that he and the Patriots are bereft of has put him in such an incredibly disadvantaged position. You actually find yourself, if it were not for all the championships and all the trips, you actually find yourself feeling sorry for them, even though they're 9-1.
The Patriots defense continues to be the single best unit in football. Better than the Lamar Jackson-led Ravens offense, better than the Niners defense, pick your favorite, better than the Chiefs with a healthy Patrick Mahomes offense. The Patriots defense is the single best unit in football and showed it again yesterday. He knows the win is what matters more than anything. He also knows this offense is going to have to kick it into gear come the postseason, and that if they don't kick it in gear over the next 3 weeks, they might actually have to play a road postseason game because the Ravens keep nipping at their heels. So the defense, A triple plus again. Offense, a lot what it's looked like to me all year long.
Tom Brady will not be the reason the New England Patriots win another Super Bowl. the defense will be a reason why they win that Super Bowl. I feel very comfortable in saying Tom Brady's not playing 3 more years. I feel even more devout that Tom Brady is not playing another year past this year in New England. This, because
Wait a second, you're making the case that he's done now, right? So how can he play anywhere else?
What part about that didn't you say? I said this would be his last year in New England.
In pro football?
In New England.
Oh, okay.
He might choose to go somewhere else. Seems to be hell-bent on playing 45. Coach Belichick seems to be hell-bent saying he's not going to play for me at the age of 45. So you can say jealousy, you can say all you want to, but the numbers bear it out. He's 14th in QBR.
Wow.
He didn't throw another touchdown. Hold on, wait a minute. I know good and doggone well it didn't take him 47 attempts to get 216. And that's great. They might win a Super Bowl, but it damn sure won't be because of Tom Brady. It'll be because of that defense playing lights out.
This one's blocked. Up in the air. Recovered by New England. And make a play on it. That's an excellent job on his part. Right here. Takes it right off his foot. Playing time. Brady throws, pass, caught for the touchdown. And the rookie, N'Keal Harry. What a catch. High snap. Prescott caught it. Pass is picked. Intercepted by New England and Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore has every bit the same amount of speed as Amari Cooper. A ball thrown behind, and once again, the Patriots take advantage of. Please. Little play action, pass underneath, caught by Myers, breaks a tackle, and the rookie Jacoby Myers into Cowboy territory inside the 45. Quick throw, pass incomplete for Gallup. Deron Harmon brought pressure. He would have been in a suite somewhere. Good point. 3rd down and 20, and the pass caught by Edelman. Right at 1st down yardage. The Patriots end up with great starting field position. Here's a lot of penetration, and running right past it is Sony Michel. Prescott throws, end zone, broken up. That's where it basically ends. But for these guys, they're still able to have eyes on the quarterback. So for a team that plays so much man coverage, they're still able to create the interceptions. Typically, most interceptions come in zone coverages. He's protecting the slot blitz. 2nd and 10, pass is Edelman with a catch. And when Brady needs one, he goes to number 11. And he does here for 23. Prescott throws, pass, diving catch by Amari Cooper. Here's a call.
After reviewing the play, the ball hit the ground. It's incomplete.
Single digits. Here's a 1st down run. Down inside the 10 is Sony Michel. Hats off to Stephon Gilmore in this Patriots defense. Up high into the air, and clock shows 1 second left. You typically get that at home when you're playing at home. Normally that clock would run out. Bill Belichick can't believe it either. Well, the Cowboys are going to get one more snap on offense with 1 second left, trailing by 4. Do it. Catch made by Gallup. And the New England Patriots now are 10-1 as they win this one by 4.
Does this prove Brady, as in Tom Brady, 6 rings, you've heard of him, is no longer elite?
Yes, it does. Tom Brady is no longer elite. Look, when you talk about the Patriots, you're talking about elite D, not elite QB. You know what Tom Brady's job is? It's to not lose the game. He's a game manager. That's an okay thing to be. That is not a dirty word. You can win the Super Bowl with a game manager. Look at Peyton Manning, who was bad when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. He wasn't as good as Tom Brady is now. They've both fallen off a cliff by that point in their career. Of course, Peyton Manning had an excuse. He had an injury. Tom Brady is he's ancient. And by the way, being ancient is almost equivalent to an injury. Your body can't do the same things anymore.
Take into account what the brother's working with. I'm like, my God, these guys, I've never heard of these guys in my life. And I mean, and based on the amount of time and the amount of receptions they've had, not to have Tom Brady until recently. I mean, give the guy some slack.
This is so Max has been on this cliff. You're right, Stephen A. I thought it was longer than 3 years. I thought it was about the time I retired from football where Max was saying that Tom Brady was going to be on this cliff. And so if you walk long enough, you'll fall off. But what happens is when your cliff is as high as Tom Brady, when you are on the top of the mountain, even if you fall down a little bit, it becomes very noticeable. And
7 of the last 12 games, he's had 1 touchdown or less. He's had 4 games with no touchdowns if you include the Super Bowl and the 11 games this year.
He's unrelenting, Skip. You know what? Because he got as much Gatorade and is calling as many timeouts as he wants. Because just when you think you got him nicked, my elbow hurt a little bit. My
elbow.
knee, my back, my knee and my back. No, Skip.
How's your back?
Great.
No father time around here.
No, it's not.
He's going to do it to both
Stop
of you
it.
again.
Thank you.
You're going to have to eat so many words. It just keeps happening over and over. We have Tom Brady Groundhog Day on Undisputed year after year after year. The Hall of Famer said he's done in 2016. He's done in 2017. Rob's saying he was done in 2014.
At least I'm consistent.
Right? Yep.
You haven't given
and
up.
he still is not done. Tom Brady is 10-1.
Of the 9 play calls have been on the ground. You can make that 8 out of 10. And this is Michelle going through the middle to set up. Brady surveying, throws too high. So Forbath, who has not played this season in the...
I talked about it before. Those inside routes are key.
3rd and 4. Meanwhile, this is going to be picked off. Bradley Roby's going to set up a 1st and goal for the 3rd down and 3. Extra pressure put on. Watson gets it away. It's caught. Duke Johnson, touchdown. Stays in the backfield on 1st down. Off the fake. Watson's going to get small. He stays on his feet. Avoids.
Stands it, and he's breaking it down.
Full house backfield. 9 out of 12 he is. Play fake. Pass caught. Fells, touchdown. Brady under pressure. Ducks away.
Back here, but I bet they fall back.
Play clock went all the way down. Watson directing traffic, going to try it again, and that time it will be caught. Kenny Stills for the touchdown. Brady looking for a chunk. There's Edelman. He gets free. He's got the 1st down. Down the sideline, he goes all the way to the 25-yard. 15 with a quarter to go. I don't think so. Brady throws. Meanwhile, it's White, and White will jog into the end zone for a touchdown.
Showing a pressure look.
Go 5 wide here. Everybody into the pattern. Wide open at the 25-yard line. Hopkins. 5 runs, 3 passes. A little trickery here. Hopkins and more trickery to Watson. Touchdown. Oh, baby. Comes back into a wing. Brady dancing and fires, and that will be James White.
Anything those 2 guys get, they deserve.
3rd and 13. Brady throws, and that. Brady to White's got a lot of room to roam. He's still going. Yard line now. Brady. And he throws, and that's Edelman who makes the catch for the touchdown. Really? For 50 seconds. So about 1 out of 7 are recovered by the kicking team. Bailey puts it in play. Look at this. And it goes out of bounds.
Deanna, I don't think it's too much to say they might not even be the best team
in the AFC East. Let's remember the Buffalo
What's
Bills.
Their record?
What?
What's their record? What's their record? You heard me. What's their record?
They're 10-2.
They lost 2 games.
They're 10-2.
Okay. Isn't that the best record amongst the league? And we're panicking? You just shattered the glass. Your hand should be bleeding because you just broke the glass in case of emergency, and it's not even an emergency right now.
N'Keal Harry being the perfect example. He was a part of the game plan at the beginning of the game. Then the interception by Bradley Roby on a slant where he just didn't use his body well enough. He didn't fight through contact there. He played 10 more plays the rest of the game. Could they have used their first-round pick, the first-round pick at wide receiver Belichick's ever invested in with the Patriots? Probably, but right now he's not seeing it anywhere near the same way Tom Brady is. And even someone like Myers, a former quarterback, college quarterback, a really smart kid who's been here now for the entire breadth of the offseason, he's still not there yet. And he's been in it now playing week after week. So it's a process, and clearly they're running out of time.
We talk about their weapons and everything else, but they can't run the football. And that's it. And they don't protect the quarterback. So to me, it's you're out there because you've had the greatest of all time. You've got the smartest quarterback that's ever played and the best coach. And so that gives them a chance.
That's the worst Patriots team you've ever seen.
Absolutely. And I said it last year.
And they won.
And they were. I swear to God they were. And they still won the Super Bowl. So right now I'm like, hey, this is the worst Patriot team I've ever seen. Part 2.
Because in the second half of that game, and especially in the fourth quarter, he finally said, heck with all of you. I'm sick and tired of seeing all of you guys, all my receivers, except for Julian Edelman and little James White. And in the fourth quarter, he just said, I'm going to go back to what I trust and what I know. I'm going to throw it every time to Julian and James White. And here they came.
State for the record, I don't think you know what the hell you're talking about when it comes to Tom Brady. Either that or you are so fixated on holding on to your cliff theory, okay? You're so fixated, ever since you made the prediction he's going to 3 straight Super Bowls, 1, 2, and the one he lost, he passed for 500 yards. I ain't trying to hear that from you. What I'm saying to you is this. Here's my problem when I say you don't know what the hell you're talking about or you're just holding on to the cliff theory, because I think you're engaging in cruelty.
Let's go.
I think you're engaging in cruelty. When you see these receivers and their inability to get open, to gain any kind of separation whatsoever. And you see, I have never, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach here, I have never seen Tom Brady hold on to the football more in my life, praying somebody is getting open. Is he what he used to be? No. He's 42. We get that part.
They have 2 issues that I'm concerned about. One I'm really, really concerned about, and that's Tom Brady. Because we saw it again last night, and he's not that guy that we once knew. Now, the New England Patriots are 3rd in the NFL in punts, behind the Jets, Trubisky Bears, and New England Patriots Tom Brady. So I'm trying to let that sink in for a second. Trubisky, Sam Darnold, and Tom Brady.
Okay.
1, 2, 3 in punts. And you say everything is okay.
Assuming you can put him on a team. To me, here's what it comes down to. I got a 42-year-old quarterback, man, that's taken me to 9 Super Bowls, that's won 6 Super Bowl championships for me. I can't put this guy through what I'm putting this guy through. I mean, you talk about the quintessential individual that would be a perfect remedy for all that ails the New England offense. It would be this one man, Antonio Brown.
They want to win. If they want Tom Brady to stop screaming at his wide receivers to do things that they were not blessed with the talent to do, you go out and get this dude. You kick the tires. You ask the NFL, will he be able to play? Will he be on the commissioner's exempt list? And
Brady needs much, much more help than he currently has because he's no longer elite.
He doesn't have much to work with at this point. The only reason I feel compelled to be careful about this is because we've seen plenty of dudes when they first arrived in New England that simply weren't ready. But after some time under Bill Belichick and his system and working with Tom Brady, they've gotten significantly better.
The bigger story to me is how the Patriots looked for 3 quarters. That the Patriots, at one point, impenetrable defense, all of a sudden the last month now, giving up 21 points per game. Now, that's good, but that's not the historically great pace we saw this team on through the first 2 months of the season. And the elephant in every room about the Patriot conversations is not an elephant, it's actually a goat. It's the GOAT, Tom Brady, who is not any good in... Let me be careful with what I'm saying here. I almost said he's not any good anymore. He's certainly not any good right now. And the only way you could believe he's going to be good again is if he does have some magical GOAT quotient to go to that he is waiting until the last possible moment to activate. But they could have used it last night. They could have used it against Baltimore. As of this morning, the playoffs do not go through Gillette. And I know everyone's going to blame everyone but Brady. They're going to today Belichick's going to catch some heat, which he never does. The receivers are obviously going to catch some heat.
You know, they've never made a Super Bowl when they had to go on the road at any point.
Are we witnessing the end of the Patriots dynasty?
No, not at all. By the very definition of what they've shown us over the 19 years Belichick and Brady have been together in tandem, they are not missing a beat. Their definition of dynasty is not win the Super Bowl every year. It's to be contenders. And once again, they are contenders. Number 2 seed in the AFC, contenders.
And if this is the end of Brady, which I think it is, I think there's some agreement there. We're seeing some cracks in Tom Brady. Then it's the end of the dynasty. I think Houston is better than them. I clearly think Baltimore is the best team in the AFC. And we're going to find out about my Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday. I'm not ready to go there. It was just the Raiders. But, you know, I can legitimately say I think the Chiefs are as good. We'll see if they're better. Yeah. And then I look over at the NFC, and there's 5 or 6 teams that I know are better than the Patriots.
But not in the playoffs. I think that's the only problem with any discussion point about New England is their body of work is so solid and so proven and tried and true that you can say that every year that they've been in the Super Bowl, every year they've been, you know, where they've been. You got to prove it. They could be better than them now, but can they be better than them in the playoffs? Is I think the biggest question.
The Patriots are a week away from being 0-3 against the 3 other teams in the conference that matter. You are going to have to beat at least one, if not both of those, or at least 2 of those 3 teams.
Old guy like Brady needs to bye.
To make the Super Bowl. Now, I do think they're still going to get the bye. I don't think Houston or Kansas City is going to catch them in that regard. But in that first playoff game, if you're the 2 seed, you're staring at Kansas City or Houston. If you get through it, you are then going to Baltimore if you are the 2 seed.
Taking shots. At least then we get chunk plays when we do get it, or pass interferences.
Back to Brady it goes. Brady going for Edelman. He's got it. Touchdown, New England. Just re-signed this week. Comes out for this play. As Mahomes flings it, and it's picked off. As Jackson jumps in front of Robinson. And that Patriot defense has its 21st interception of the season. 41 yards. Blocked. Blocked and picked up by Ward. 2nd and 25. Coming after him again. He got hit again. Got an open man. And it's caught at the 15 and taking it to the house is McCole Hardman, the rookie. Doing some great things. Here's a 1st and 10. Over the top, picked off. It's Breland, still on his feet.
Pressuring him here. This is probably not going to end well.
It's Kelce who takes the direct snap and takes it in for the touchdown. It was Kelce in that bizarre formation. Pass picked off on the first drive to Kansas City, and this one's blocked. Ebner got to him. Nate Ebner with the block. Here's a 2nd and 1. Give to Bolden. Matthew tries to shove him out. It's a touchdown. He got the pylon. It's a 3rd and 4. It's Watkins. Where will they mark it? Oh, they gave him with room to spare.
You know, the momentum is
New England is challenged to rule the field of a 1st down.
And what about the spot? Here's Kelce first.
I mean, that's really smart. How many guys are going to do that where they're going to challenge both? I don't think he's going to get the OPI, offensive pass interference, but this, they marked that ball at the 40.
Yeah, they marked
There's
it
no
1 yard
chance
past
that's
that.
at the 40.
After the rule hands.
Okay.
New England a timeout.
And it was awfully close. They needed to get to the 39, Gene. They spotted at the 40. I didn't see that at all. Finds Kelsey. Where do they mark this? Ball comes out. That whistle at 10. You can hear the whistle. All kinds of things to figure out. Where's the forward progress?
After the fumble, it's challenging to ruin the field of the man being down by contact.
That it was a fumble, in fact. And they're going to have the football at the 43, but still denied the chance. And you hear the whistle there to have the scoop and the possible run back for the touchdown. That's Harry, and he dives. Was he out or in? Looks like they want to mark him out at the 3. N'Keal Harry.
Great effort, and it's just another way to get an outside run, but just with a little bootleg. That's close. This is really close.
Brady looked up at the giant screen and has already run down to start celebrating because he knows that's a touchdown. But the problem is they have no challenges. They have no challenges. They can't do anything about it. Brady ran down with his arms up in the air.
You can't challenge it. It's not a scoring play. So
that's right. You can't challenge it.
No one knows it in the stadium. You're dead right, Jim Nance. And now the clock's going to run down. They're going to have to take a timeout or a 5-yard penalty. See if Brady can get this off in time.
He does to White. And he's able to drive it home.
Well, that's Kansas City. Outstanding job holding the 3 points when all the momentum was going the other way. Although they didn't really hold them because I think they had it actually, but game of inches.
Here we go. This is the game. Up the middle, the pass to the end zone, knocked down by Breland. Incomplete. Denying Edelman, denying the Patriots.
I can't completely blame the Patriots because you tried to get Antonio Brown. You tried to have Josh Gordon. I get all of that. Rob Gronkowski retired. I understand. But can we at least just acknowledge, oh, my God, you're 42 years old, and that's what you get me to work with?
No, first of all, there are finite resources in the NFL. It's very rare that you have this awesome defense and awesome offense. And, in fact, Brady's not good anymore to lead an elite offense. Therefore, you might as well put your resources. That's what I said.
No, I just want to make sure I understand. You said that Brady, if he had an elite offense, he could have lead it?
Well, let's put it this way. I don't think you're going to win that way. I think you're better off trying to win with solid offense, running game, defense, which is why that's the way Belichick designed it. Poor Tom Brady and the Patriots. They had calls go against them. Oh, my heart's bleeding for them. Nevertheless, you got to give it up and admit with the truth what happened yesterday. The reason the refs aren't supposed to blow the call dead is because it's reviewable anyway. So let them play it out. Pat should have had a touchdown. And then the refs blow a call later in the game. But Belichick had to already challenge. And as a result, doesn't have his challenge, can't challenge, and they don't score another touchdown. That's 2 scores, they win the game. Because Mahomes isn't 100%, right? Like, for all the Patriots hating you can say I do, and I wouldn't even deny it. Root against the Patriots, but you got to be fair. Yes, the Patriots got robbed yesterday. I don't feel sorry for them. The refs have robbed other teams a million times. The Patriots seem to be on the good end of this stuff almost every time, but you got to admit the truth when it happens. The Patriots got robbed yesterday, period.
I get so frustrated when you talk about Tom Brady at this point, and I'm with you. Father Time is happening. But please stop saying Jimmy G and all of that, because this dude has still won beside that. Like last year when the Rams were tearing the NFL up in offense. Defense played well. Brady put up 13 points, enough to win the game.
13 points.
That's fine.
That's
Max,
enough to win the game. That's Belichick winning the game.
Did you see what the Rams...
Is that Tom Brady played terrible. Tom Brady has been playing terrible for an extended period of time, and this is the reason why he will not be there next year.
The Patriots obviously would have won that football game if that referee had made that call that was right in front of his two eyes. It's right there for a guy named Jonah Monroe. He's in his 5th year of refereeing in the National Football League, a graduate of the University of Arkansas. And he is standing in perfect position to make the call of the game that we saw in the late window yesterday afternoon. And it was a good inch of separation. You could see a whole inch of green between the white cleat and the white boundary. Am I right about that? Did anybody have any doubt that he was in bounds? It's as clear as a bell, and he is standing as the side judge right on top of it. How can you miss that call? Lord have mercy on this one. So, this is near the end of the third quarter, and this is such an outrageously prematurely blown whistle on the Travis Kelce play. I thought that they had all been schooled, all the referees. Just let it ride. If you're not sure, don't blow. Don't toot. Don't hit your whistle before you know what's happening, because clearly the ball was way out before his knee or body was down. And so the ball is loose. I'll be the first to say, I'm not sure that Stephon would have scooped and scored on that play, because it looked like there were 3 Chiefs.
Well, you see Tyreek roll up on him?
I know, because that would have been a problem. That and 2 other Chiefs. So I just don't know that Stephon could have scored. But I don't care about that. All I care about is that Belichick had 1 challenge left in his back pocket, and he throws up his hands because he knew he had to challenge again.
Yep.
He'd already lost the first one, and he loses the second one. Boom, gone. And you know what was coming. Some play was going to come where he was going to get nailed.
Like
it always happens that way.
We collectively don't know how to deal with this, but these are great learning experiences to self-correct when it matters most, and that's coming soon.
Will they win the Super Bowl this year? No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to do something I haven't done in 3 years. I've always said, don't ever count the Patriots out. Don't ever go against a Hall of Famer, because that's what Tom Brady is. Tom Brady's getting older. That's all there is to it. He's still good. There's no doubt about that. Is he still a top quarterback in the league? Is he still a top 4 quarterback in the league?
No.
I don't think so. And there's not a knock against Tom, but you're 42 years old now.
For a long time, the narrative of the Patriots were, if you're going to catch them in September. Because by November and December, they got it figured out. Well, Christmas trees are up now, and they're playing the worst football of the season. So I don't see the evidence that they should be confident about beating the teams they're going to have to beat if they're going to make their record-tying 4th Super Bowl.
No way that you can go into the playoffs the way the officiating right now is set up, because we're going to see another important football game dictate who wins. They got to give coaches more challenges. Something has to change before we get to January.
Why don't we just change the whole rules because New England got messed over? I'm sorry, but give me a break. Cry me a river. Man, New England's never had a break. Oh, please, give me a break. I mean, we're not changing the rules or anything else. Yeah, was there some mistakes? Absolutely, and I loved it for one.
Took all the teams that we know are going to be in the playoffs, all the 9-win or better teams. The weakest unit of all of them is the Patriots offense right now. They can't run the football. Sony Michel got a few carries early, and then he got banished. They actually started running the ball with James White, something they almost never do. They had 2 drives where they accumulated more than 45 yards. Patriots' 5 biggest plays of the game: a flea flicker, a pass from the running back, defensive pass interference, and a 42-year-old man scrambling for his life on 4th down. They can't move the football.
Good teams do not care about your feelings. The Patriots don't care what anyone thinks of them. Now, this isn't about running up the score. They'll pull their starters. They can still score points. They need to show, not anyone, not you, not me. They need to show themselves that they can get enough offense to go into the postseason with a Super Bowl caliber defense and win games.
Came back against Atlanta and won that Super Bowl after being down 28-3. What we were all thinking, I'm talking about once it was clear that they were in position to possibly win the Super Bowl. Everybody, literally, it was almost like must-see TV. All right, how is Tom Brady going to react to Roger Goodell on the stage? How is Robert Kraft going to do it? How is Bill Belichick going to do it? Because of the whole scandal involving Deflategate and everything that it entailed. So I'm saying to you is you use your little nuggets of motivation whenever you can grab them.
Right.
No doubt.
They're also still learning how to play on offense. Max, this offense is they're terrible. This is a weak sauce Patriots offense. They've got rookies and old guys as receivers. Those rookies need to learn how to play with Tom Brady. You don't pull them.
I have a question for you.
They need every down they can get.
I have a question for you just for the purposes of this man right here.
Okay.
Are you saying that it's not really about Tom Brady? It's about the absence of weapons he has available to him?
It is about both. What we talked about, how they can't beat the blitz this year, which used to be Tom Brady's bread and butter. Beating the blitz is not just about the quarterback. It's about your receivers
but it's
getting
also about
open
the
at the line of
quarterback.
scrimmage.
But it's
3rd and 10 right here. They fake it to Edelman, and they swing it to White. White takes a block, still going, stays on his feet, and White will score! Touchdown, New England, a 23-yard scamper for James White. Bailey's kick nearly blocked. He was able to get it away. Erickson fields it, lost the football. A scramble for it. It was Matthew Slater who was downfield on the coverage. And now a pile. New England indicating they have it. And they do. A massive mistake by Alex Erickson. Long for Folk, 46 yards away, and the kick is good.
That matchup that he's going up against.
Dalton was looking for him here. Gilmore picks it off, and what a catch that was. 5th interception of the season for Stephon Gilmore, and that was a beauty for the corner.
Gilmore was asked, I think it was this week or maybe even last week, if he could help the Patriots out at receiver. He said, well, I'll do whatever they ask me to do. I'm looking at that body control. There's one arm behind the guy he's covering, and then he catches the ball in the right pocket. Just a tremendous play by Gilmore. I talked about his length.
Brady, good protection, nowhere to go, fires, end zone, caught, touchdown! It's N'Keal Harry. Brady had all day and fired a strike to the rookie for 6. On 1st and 15, Dalton picked off. Gilmore down the sideline. See you later. Touchdown, New England. 2nd pick of the day for Stephon Gilmore. All right, so 3rd and 4, 11 on 11. Dalton taking a deep shot down the sideline, and it's picked off. J.C. Jackson, his 4th interception of the year. And once again, this Patriots defense is carrying them against Cincinnati.
24 interceptions for the year. 3 of those going back in the other direction.
It's football, 1st down and 10 at the Cincinnati 34. Here's another former Bengal, Rex Burkhead. Nice moves. Rex to the house. In his old house, Rex Burkhead with the touchdown run. As the penalty brings the ball out close to midfield, Dalton is going to take a deep shot down the sideline, and it's picked off. J.C. Jackson. And for Andy Dalton, that's his 4th interception of the game. That ties a career high. And brief, but they did shake hands, and New England is on to the playoffs. Tom Brady, 538 career touchdown passes, 1 behind Peyton Manning for most all time.
There's no Patriots on either one of your lists. Why?
I didn't think that was supposed to be part of the conversation.
Well,
I'm not
just
afraid of
curious.
it. The Patriots aren't good.
Like last year, they were at least good at one thing on offense. The Patriots have a good defense. They had a good defense last year, and they ran the ball last year well, and they had a guy named Rob Gronkowski. Right now, they don't run the ball well, they don't protect the quarterback, and they don't have a guy named Rob Gronkowski. So I'm fine with saying that they are not going to be up.
You're willing to... From the 35, a fake to Harry into Burkhead. They set up the screen for Burkhead with space. Burkhead across midfield, lost the football. It's out, and Micah Hyde has it for Buffalo. Hyde at the 45, setting up a retreat. He's got some space here on the near side. Hyde to the 40, back past the line of scrimmage. The punter is the holder. No wind and a smooth pass.
Because they want to move him around a lot.
2nd and 3, Michelle up the middle and into the secondary. Spread personnel here, 3rd and 2. Fake to White. Fake to N'Keal Harry. Now the throw to Harry and a first down. And Brady will throw it, and it is complete for Watson for the first down. The veteran has it. Brady, play fake to the air for Matt LaCosse, who's got it for the New England touchdown. Brady a perfect 8 of 8 so far. From his end zone, fires, complete to Edelman. What else is new? It's a 3rd down grab by Edelman at the 23-yard line of first down. It's fogging up. They get it back to N'Keal Harry on the edge with Brady out in front. Brady got a block as well, and it gave Harry the space for the run to the 36-yard line. Tom didn't just go out there and look around. He took a guy down, and look at him smiling after the block.
Well, we saw the movement in the pocket. Little handoff here. They're going to flip it back. Little misdirection here. And as you mentioned, number 12, get out there, go low. It's Tre'Davious White taking him down to the ground. I think that guy still doesn't want to win and compete every time out.
Getting the best of it at the moment. 2nd and 14. And Brady to Harry, breaks a tackle on the edge. And N'Keal Harry on 3rd and 14. Brady throws, it's complete to Edelman. That's good yardage. It's 12. It's not the first down for the Patriots this year. Looking to add the field goal, and he does from 36,000 yelling at him here on 3rd and 6. Pats rush 5. Allen fires, incomplete, broken up by J.C. Jackson, who's having a sensational season. Brady saw Matt Milano in the pressure coming from his left. He throws that way to Sanu's out of bounds. In the proper spot. Brady, of course, so good at sneaking it over the years. Going to give to Harry coming around the edge. What a play off the edge to stop him. Reported eligible Ryan Bates. Allen is rolling. He throws back to the corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown for Dion Dawkins. Dion Dawkins, the starting left tackle, also reported eligible with the extra lineman Bates. All of a sudden, the Bills' offense has some life. Play action with Guy chasing. Allen in trouble. Flag down. He's down. And a field goal in the 2nd and 3rd drives of the game. Brady, good job hiding the ball there. And wide open is Burkhead. Terrific play fake by Brady. Sets up Burkhead across the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. 2nd and 8, 5 in the pattern here. Ben Watson with the catch. Edelman's hurt. There's a flag down. Watson's down the sideline, and he's in for the touchdown. Let's see if it will hold up as Watson, whose last New England touchdown was in 2009.
Pass interference. Offense. Number 11. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Wow, this is really, really tough. They run this play all the time. It's a double slant on the outside. So Julian Edelman is sticking and running the slant. And he happens to run into Poyer right there in the middle of his route. I mean, that's really tough. It does not look like he's going out of his way, but you saw him dip there at the end to try to, I guess, give a little bit of contact, knowing that the defender was coming there. That's probably what they called.
From 51, the snap is high. This would be his longest as a Patriot, and he's got it. Anything away because we don't know, but I'm guessing. 2nd and 13, Allen deep drop hit as he throws it downfield for Brown, who's got it. John Brown breaks free and scores. Touchdown, Buffalo.
just doesn't feel like they can excel at the level and the standard that he's used to.
Nice tackle, breaking run by Michelle.
Even here in Week 16.
Play action, 2nd and 9. Over the top throw is complete in the middle of the field. Jacoby Myers. 25-yarder by Michelle. This becomes real play fake stuff. And Burkhead with blockers ahead. And Burkhead accelerates into the red zone. It's a play. 2nd and 16. Brady throwing. It is caught, held on to by Myers, who was in a lot of traffic and about to get hit. Buffalo brings 4. 5 in the pattern. Brady on the move. Brady thinking about running for it. Will not get there. 6, good from 51. And a little punch through from 20 yards out. Makes it a 1-point game. 2nd and 9. 4 options for Allen. He's in trouble. And John Simon and Lawrence Guy will bring him down. Back at the 20-yard line. A loss of 5. And it's a 1-point game with 9:01 left. And Julian Edelman is back on the field for New England. Drive starts for the 41. Brady play action. Over the top. Edelman's back. Edelman 40. Edelman 30. First down at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 30. On the 14, Brady to Michelle. Trying to get to the edge inside the 10. Patriots 10 years ago. A Brady sneak gets him to the 2. First and goal, New England. He's done it so many times. And he does it again.
So many times. He's really good at finding the soft spot. I don't think anybody on the Bills thought they were going to run a quarterback sneak in that situation. So the linebackers were 4 or 5 yards deep. He was able to just put that head down, get across the line.
And Brady gives to Burkhead, who is bouncing off a tackle and into the end zone for a go-ahead touchdown.
After the score, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 97. New England has elected to put that penalty on the kickoff.
Okay. For the 2, it'll be Brady throwing, double clutching, and Edelman's got it. From the 25, the Patriots bring 5. And Allen's pass is caught. Good catch. 2:34 to go. Came back a little slower, but got to the right spot. Allen escapes, on the run, throws, and it's caught by Beasley at the 10. Tie the game. First and goal from the 8. Another high snap. Design run. Allen in trouble, and he'll be tackled at the 10. 2 minutes left. 2nd and goal. And it is Allen. Kept in the pocket, throwing end zone, just over the outstretched hands of Dawson Knox, the tight end. 3rd and goal, pressure on Allen in trouble, trying to stay alive. He is sacked. Adam Butler gets him back at the 15-yard line. Allen takes the snap. Patriots bring the heat. He spins. He puts it up for grabs, and it is incomplete. Knocked away by J.C. Jackson. This win guarantees they can be no worse than the 3. Once again, champions of the AFC East, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and the New England Patriots.
What did Brady prove to you on Saturday?
He proved to me what the old adage about greatness, that a once great athlete is still capable of greatness on any given night. He can recapture that on any given night. It's what makes the Patriots live still in the playoffs. And I'll say that I thought Brady was excellent because he was up against a fantastic defense doing that. So even though the 1 touchdown, no interceptions, he didn't go to 350 yards or something, but the numbers he put up against that Buffalo defense, particularly when it mattered most, early drive in the game, late drive in the game with the game on the line, I saw a glimpse of great Tom Brady, which happens, as I mentioned, with athletes on any given night who were once elite but are no longer.
Baltimore and Kansas City had better be ready because let me tell you something. This year's Super Bowl has an opportunity to be epic. whether it's San Francisco, it's Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, it's Seattle with Russell Wilson, okay, or it's Drew Brees with New Orleans, not discounting Minnesota, whatever, but I'm saying the likelihood is one of those 4 teams are going to be the ones in it. One of those teams going up against Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes is what we're salivating for. If we get New England instead, there's going to be a whole lot of miserable football.
This is going to shock people. This is going to shock people. I'm a Patriots hater, of course. The New York fan, I root against the New England teams, the Boston teams. But I don't see it that way. I know you guys have both been framing it that way. I think if Brady makes a Super Bowl and so does Breeze, that's a battle of the old timers. Like who I'm fine with that. If
Showing your age, then.
If Brady faces Garoppolo and you have a rematch of the coaches sort of in the Super Bowl plus the guy they kept and the guy who left, that's interesting.
This was a throwback Brady performance, not even throwback to last year. Throwback to a couple years ago. That's a great defense. All of a sudden, we're not hearing the announcers explain away missed passes, blaming it on wide receivers, because amazingly, these terrible pass catchers can catch the ball when Brady's accurate. Brady was accurate. He was constantly under duress, yet was never sacked, threw the ball away when he needed to, and I thought this was a spectacular come-from-behind win for New England. The only hope they have, and I think it's minimal, of making the Super Bowl was with a bye. They've never made a Super Bowl without one, and they're losing in the fourth quarter of this football game. And if they lose, they're no longer the 2 seed. They're the 3 seed. Kansas City jumps them. And Tom Brady led them back, and not only led them back, after the touchdown, far too often in this league, we see a team get a touchdown to go up 1 or to go up 5. And then on the 2-point conversion, guys are still celebrating. They're doing this, that, and they run a rush 2-point conversion play, and now you're up 1 and a field goal beat you, or you're up 5 and a touchdown beat you. No, they got in exactly what they wanted. The Bills got a penalty. Thought it was very interesting. The Patriots didn't want the penalty on the 2-point try. They wanted it on the kickoff, which should have been signal to Buffalo. They're throwing it here, not running it, because if they're running it, they would take the extra yard. And Brady finds his guy Edelman on a critical play. Because everything's different if you're up 5 late instead of up 7. You maybe play a little tighter, a little more anxious. I thought the Patriots were great. I thought they were great against a Buffalo team that is legitimate. If the offense plays like this the rest of the way, then of course, we've said all year, if they just have an above-average offense, they can win the Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it is more likely that was Tom Brady's last truly great game as a Patriot than it was the start of a run that's going to be on. But they deserve all the credit in the world for what they did Saturday afternoon in a critical win for them.
I do trust them in the playoffs. Now, I'm with you. They shouldn't be the favorite. I don't think they'll get there. But anyone who's writing them off and saying it would be a shock if they get to the Super Bowl, I think that's very bad, very wrong. Because, I mean, last year we could have sat here a year ago today and said the same thing about the New England Patriots.
But the one thing that has been consistent over the last 19 years is that New England has historically gotten better and figured out ways to win. And how their improvement appears or materializes each year is a little bit different, but you can count on that.
Ranks, and Bill Belichick had many great compliments when talking about Brian Flores. Picked off! Going to the end zone is Eric Rowe for the touchdown. And I'm not even sure who that football was for. It was in between. It was in between Julian Edelman and Sony Michel. Their end of the bargain in this fight for a first-round bye. Brady deep down the sideline, has a man open. Diving catch is made by Philip Dorsett inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal. Michel following Robert to the end zone for the touchdown. Underneath, but once it went to zone, he took advantage of it. This could be a pass. Albert Wilson throws it back over here, and that's Patrick Laird with blockers ahead of him. To the 21. Under pressure, Fitzpatrick to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Brady wide open out here is Roberts, the linebacker, to the 10, to the 5, touchdown. How about that? Brady sets up the screen. James White, the 10, the 5, touchdown. Fitzpatrick throwing over the middle, touchdown! Mike Gesicki. Well, the stadium got real quiet real quick. We asked Brian Flores how it was going to be coming back to New England, coming back to Foxborough, where he spent the last 15 years with the Patriots. This has got to feel good for him.
Stop that. That clock up there, Patriots Dynasty ends. Where is that? Right here. It should say Whitlock eats crow. That's when he's going to do it in 5 days. That's a lot of crow. I know you're going to eat this crow. I want to focus in on one of the headlines about the familiarity with the Patriots because of their coach, Mike Vrabel. And everyone's focusing in on how Belichick is a 500 coach against his disciples. But pure disciples is someone who coached with you on your staff, coordinators, had that access pass that players don't have when you go upstairs and hear the raw coverage and footage of their personnel. That's not Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel, since 2011, been dead set and focused on his own career as a coach. So that familiarity in personnel and philosophy is not as present as people are trying to highlight when you're talking about Mike Vrabel. So now let's just talk about player to player and, more importantly, what's your mindset in hitting that switch when it comes postseason time?
But I really believe Tennessee Titans are going to beat them. Like, I wanted to roll with you, and I'm trying to convince myself. Last year when Tennessee Titans played the New England Patriots, a better New England Patriots team, they beat them 34-10. It wasn't even close. They held the Patriots to 40 yards rushing. And, yeah, Jason, I'm with you, man. This is probably the end of a dynasty.
Look, man, I don't know why it's taking y'all so long to come around to the fact that it's over. It's over for the Patriots. It's over because their quarterback is the worst quarterback in the playoffs. Tom Brady.
I can't go with you on that one, Bucky.
He is the worst quarterback in the playoffs.
You can't beat a champ without beating the champ. And who has beaten this team in the moments that matter most? I don't know that team.
The Miami Dolphins yesterday in a game that mattered at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah.
They were playing for home field.
You can't fake that, though. You can't fake that this is the same desperation necessary as a playoff situation. You can tell yourself that, but at your core essence, you know you will live on. Now this team is going to be faced with that. Why did Brady call out his team's maturity and preparation? Because he knew they are not treating this like the playoff game. It should be. But now they're going to know because there is going to be a desperate consequence that comes from them losing this game. Guess what? It's a different level of desperation. This week against Tennessee, with the lack of familiarity, because they didn't even play them this year. So stop talking about how y'all beat us last year. We were the Super Bowl champions you beat last year. Respect what's going to happen to you in a different climate, and that's playoff football.
But they all in. This is inevitable. Father Time's catching up with Tom Brady. We can see it with our own eyes. And that culture is starting to crumble.
Man,
I think it's curtains.
Yeah, I think so, too. It kind of reminds me of the San Antonio Spurs. They'll be competitive and always kind of around the mix, but they won't be championship teams.
Yesterday, to me, felt like the end of the Patriots dynasty as we knew it. The end of the very uneasy Belichick-Brady alliance, the very troubled Belichick-Brady alliance, because now I will not be surprised if Mike Vrabel's Tennessee Titans go in there on Saturday evening and put a complete end to it in the first-round playoff game that they did not want to play.
But you know the Titans are better than people think.
They're much better, and they can run the ball. I got it. But that's what he has come to. That's what this team has come to. That's what this defense has come to. And, again, they're a 5-point early favorite at home against the Tennessee Titans, and I do not love them.
I understand, because quite literally, if the defense holds, they win that game. But I'm not going to put this on the – and when you lose a game to Miami at home with this much on the line, like, Patriots ain't going to win the Super Bowl this year. And the reason I don't think they have a chance to do it is because they just lost that game. They don't have their typical bye in the first round, followed by a home game, right? Like – you know, they've got fat off the AFC East for years and years. And as soon as the AFC East ticks up a little, let's see what they have. Okay. But now that you've given up home field, or excuse me, you don't have a bye in the first round, you can't just count on Brady being great for a game and that getting it done. They ain't going to get it done. because the old man is an old man.
But he was having a tough day. Where were the doubles? Where was McCourty getting over the top of Gilmore? Where were the adjustments that Bill Belichick could make to give him some help on the outside? And so there were things that went on that last drive, 75 yards to Ryan Fitzpatrick, that could have been changed, that could have been adjusted. And in the end, you say when you don't score more than 24, max, score more than 24 against a bad team, 24 points should be enough to win. 24 points should be enough to win, especially when you're up late in the fourth quarter. If Bill Belichick
beat Buffalo.
Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. And sometimes we're going to have to look at the greatest and say, you know what? Today you have failed.
The guy who I thought was Defensive Player of the Year through 15 games, not so much through 16 games. And now the Patriots have a very live Titans team. Then if they get through that game, they are in Kansas City rather than the other way around, and in all likelihood a little more banged up than they are now after a playoff game. So I cannot believe they lost this game the way they lost it and to whom they lost it with what was on the line. That it was such an indictment on the faith Belichick has in the offense. Maybe it's because last week in Buffalo, they went for it near the end of the first half. Remember, they go for it on that fourth down, and it leads to Buffalo getting the touchdown with 6 seconds left in the half. But after Brady has his best moment of the game, that 5-play, 82-yard touchdown drive, to not give them a chance to get a field goal. They needed 40 yards. In a minute 40 with 2 timeouts is what they could have had to get in field goal range. To not do that, that loomed large the rest of the game, Canty.
Felt like that Patriots defense was all out of favors for their offense. Think about what their defense and their special teams has done all year long, stealing extra possessions, scoring on defense and on special teams, blocking punts, creating field position. All of those things all of a sudden went away in that game against inferior competition. You're talking about a double-digit loss Miami Dolphins team, and somehow with a bye on the line, you're not able to come through and get that win. That, to me, is surprising. It's not easy to roll into Foxborough and get a win in December. But the fact that the Dolphins were able to do that, that should be a flashing red light for the New England Patriots going into this wild card matchup with the Tennessee Titans team that's dangerous.
And who was the better quarterback in this matchup?
I mean, listen, as a former Patriot, it pains me to say
Super Bowl champion. Won a champion.
Well, I wanted to start with you.
Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill, since week 7.
You can take one quarterback out of the situation. There is nothing around Tom Brady right now that gives us an opportunity to fairly evaluate him. He's declined, certainly. But has he declined past Ryan Tannehill? Ryan Tannehill is crushing in play-action pass, in part because of a great running attack. They have all pro-level offensive linemen, and they have a great receiver. Point to one of those things that Tom Brady has. He don't have none of that.
I'll say
none of that.
But when we look at the question, it's Ryan Tannehill's a better quarterback, and it's not close. Like, Tom Brady's living off the name of Tom Brady.
I think the Titans are going to win this game. I think the Titans are a better team. But if it's you think
the Titans are going to win the game?
I do. But you do know if you get down to that one situation that we all talk about. We talk about it in basketball all the time. End of the game, you give the ball to one man. You want to give it to Ryan Tannehill.
Boy, these are just 2 impossible choices right here. But I'm going to say that the Patriots are the 11th best team. But in reality, they are the 5th best team in these playoffs, and Tom Brady is the 4th best quarterback in these playoffs. Yeah, real talk. I don't trust anybody more than Tom Brady, but I could put some people close to him.
This game will be close for a while, and then the frustration's going to set in. Those receivers are going to continue dropping balls. Tom Brady can see it. He's been talking about it all year, and the inevitable is going to happen. Frustration is going to set in. They're going to start to panic. The Patriots are going to do panic moves. I never thought I'd see the Patriots do what they did last week at the end of the game, where they
the laterals
and all that. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I never thought I was.
Patriots, they know
to try and win.
Their big plays in the second half of the season. It's trick plays. When did we see the
gadgets?
So they know offensively they don't have it. They know that supporting cast isn't there.
No, but all hats off to Brady, Belichick, and all that they've accomplished. But it's over. They don't have the talent.
It's a great ride.
Look, and what they're going to tap into this weekend for a moment is potentially, to me, an emotional edge. The Patriots been tightening up all season in these close games, and it's bitten them in the rear end in the second half of the season. Patriots will choke here under pressure.
Here's the nugget. Patriots, when they haven't faced a team in the regular season and see them in the playoffs, you know what the record is? Want to know what the record is? 17-1
when we're looking at the end. I think this is going to be the end of Tom Brady in a Patriots uniform.
So there's a real chance that this is his last playoff run. It doesn't mean it is.
There's like a recipe. There's like a perfect storm for big change in New England.
That would be something. And this is the greatest run in the history of the sport, and we could be seeing the end of it Saturday night.
If there's one quarterback between these two that I trust more, it's obviously Tom Brady.
I trust Tannehill more, and it's easy for me. I trust Tannehill more because we have seen it more recently. You know,
I trust Tom Brady. I trust Bill Belichick with a one game plan specific to an opponent. In Gillette Stadium, it's tough to win in that environment. Brady knows all the Jedi mind tricks. They're going in and not only facing the Patriots, they're playing the ghosts of Patriots past. And I don't know if Tannehill can go in that environment without the experience to be able to win those pivotal games, because it's going to come down to one possession, and either you're going to make 4th and 1 or you're not going to make 4th and 1. And I trust Brady to make the proper decisions, in those pivotal moments, more than I do Ryan Tannehill.
But in the biggest of moments, I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to point this to you, Archer. In the biggest of moments, if this game comes down to a 2-minute drive,
that's the question.
A 2-minute drive. Who are you trusting in that 2-minute drive?
Well, let's just follow a different path for a moment on the Patriots, because then I think more people would believe what you begrudgingly believe and I've believed all year, which is it is over for them. And let's just for a moment pretend D Ford was not 2 inches offsides last year in the AFC Championship game. Then the storyline for Brady and the Pats would have gone as follows, and it would have made so much more sense. Down 28-3 in the Super Bowl, greatest comeback ever. Brady gets his 5th ring and breaks Montana's record. The following year, Brady's still awesome, wins league MVP, but the team is this close to a Super Bowl, loses it on Brady's fumble, doesn't get it. The next year, you get beaten in the AFC Championship game because you're a little bit worse. That's on Brady's what would have been his 3rd pick of the game, by the way. And then this year, you're a shell of what you once were. You don't get a bye. It's the worst season you've had in a decade. That's how we're used to having a dynasty end.
Right.
The problem is last year when it should have ended, they won the damn Super Bowl anyway, so everyone's terrified of saying it's over for them. But it's over for them. It's clearly over for them, and I agree with you. I don't think they're going to lose to Tennessee either. And I'm going to say it again. I'm going to be furious if they lose to Tennessee, because that will deprive my hometown Kansas City Chiefs of their rightful opportunity to be the team that ends it officially. So go beat the Titans, Patriots, then come to Kansas City and get your heads handed to you the way it's supposed to go so I can sleep for the first time in a year.
Down the middle. Contested and caught. What a catch by Ben Watson. Comes into the backfield. And they can give it to White on the screen. And he breaks it for a big gain. 36 yards, and the kick is good.
Got to get it blocked, and then you got to make a tight throw quickly.
Tannehill, end zone, touchdown, Tennessee. Roberts back at fullback, and there's a huge opening for Michelle. Julian was not targeted in that first half. He's got the handoff, and he can strut in for the touchdown, untouched. Patriots have blocked 4 punts. They're trying to set up return. Kern, his first punt traveled 54 yards, hits another good one, but Sanu has a good return. Henry, who you just saw, with 53 yards on the ground. First down, another screenplay. Burkhead in traffic, down to the 1. Michelle. Second and goal. To Burkhead. And he's short. Michelle. They got him again. First down. 23-yard line. Play action coming over to Henry. Henry takes the screen pass, and he's pushed out. This point on his 26th birthday, and he's got a touchdown. Touchdown, Tennessee. In all the crew in Foxborough. 2nd and 10. Tannehill throws it off his back foot, and he's intercepted. Harmon. And Brady. Goes underneath and gets a good gain. Out of White to the 31. Again, quickly away, and Edelman dropped it.
Uncharacteristic. Lately, Edelman's been so... he's got 100 catches this year. He just seems to keep going.
Low snap. Brady picks it up. Stands tall in the pocket. The pass is wide of the mark. He went back to Dorsett. That's what it is.
Yes. I mean, we'll never see this run again, Jim.
Brady's pass. It's intercepted and returned for a touchdown by Logan Ryan, the former Patriot. The Titans take out the defending champions. Just want to see the reaction here as Brady walks off the field. Will he ever step foot on Gillette turf again? Greatest career ever.
Combination of him and Bill Belichick, unmatched. Before, I doubt you'll ever see it again.